Thank you. So, last week we talked a few minutes about God consciousness and about the nature of God consciousness. And I frankly don't remember what was said. I never hear it when I'm saying it, and I haven't gone back to listen to it. But we are spiritual beings having human experiences, and that was about the spiritual being part of it. That's the conscious contact with God. If you have conscious contact with God, that's what we're contacting with. And we'll talk more about that as the weeks go on, but I want to talk a little bit about the human experience consciousness this week so that we know what we're up against. First of all, there is only one consciousness. God is consciousness, and God is everything, and God is expressed as individual consciousnesses, but the individual consciousnesses are not separate things that are isolated from each other, although we think we are. The metaphor I like best is like waves on the ocean, where God is the ocean and we're the waves. And as individual waves, we can think that we're individuals, but we're not. We're ocean, and we're doing what the ocean's doing, and we're controlled by the ocean, and our whole experience is that of being an ocean. And we are, in fact, one with the ocean. So the point is that there is, in fact, only one consciousness, and we all, as individuals, are looking into it from our viewpoint, our standpoint, or experiencing it from our standpoint, or experiencing it from our conditioning, or whatever. We are individualized, but we are part of the one. Now, if we're in God consciousness, if we're in the place that Keith is talking about when the music is just flowing into him, or Erin has that experience with her art, when we're in touch with these wonderful higher things like that. The reason that can happen is because we're pretty much out of the way and we're open to that experience. And Joel talks a lot, especially in the arts, you know, if you want your next poem, you don't go read a lot of poems or stuff like that. What you do is you go within, you get quiet, you do whatever you need to do, and wait for the experience of the next poem to come to you, or the next book, or the next painting, or the next tune, the next music, or whatever. And that's God consciousness filling because we're out of the way. Now, when we're not in God consciousness, we're in human consciousness. And all that means is that we think we're human. But there's really just one consciousness, so we're all, I'm going to use the term collective consciousness. Joel Goldsmith calls it world mind, but there is a collective consciousness which is essentially the sum of all the individual human consciousnesses. We all are in this one pool, and we all have our beliefs, and we're all radiating our beliefs, and we're all tuned into our beliefs. And in some of the things that I've written, I talk about, like we each have a little radio in our head, a radio station, and we hear things and rebroadcast them. And so all of us are hearing, and all of us are broadcasting, and what we're hearing when we're believing we're human is the human beliefs. We're hearing what humanity believes, and we're seeing what humanity sees, because it's the same thing. Now, the part of it that we pick up is tuned for us by our conditioning and our upbringing and who we are. Men pick up on different vibrations and different beliefs than women do, and older people pick up on different ones than younger people, and Americans pick up on different consciousness than Europeans or Africans or whatever, and different religions pick up are tuned to different beliefs, but we all, based on our own state of consciousness, select from collective consciousness those things that are consistent with our beliefs, and that's our experience. And then we radiate those back out. So it all, the words that Joel uses, it's like all of our human beliefs, those that we are in tune with, those that are pertinent to our apparent human situation, are being constantly and continuously presented to us and asserted to us subliminally. We're not aware of it, but we're constantly hearing subliminally, we're constantly in the consciousness of the human consciousness that's consistent with where we are on our path. And so we'll have a set of experiences if we're in this country, and we'll have a different set of experiences if we're in a different country, and we'll have a different set of experiences if we're in this religion, and we'll have a different set of experiences if we're in that religion. We have different sets of experiences, but these are continually being reinforced by collective consciousness. It's just radiated at us. Another word Joel uses is hypnotism. We're hypnotized by the constant radiation of these beliefs that are consistent with where we happen to be spiritually or humanly. And that's, one second, that's, the magnitude of that is staggering because there are 7 billion of them out there radiating these beliefs at us, okay? What did you have, Kim?
So you said there's only one consciousness, and there's the God and the ocean and the waves, and human consciousness. And then did you say the collective consciousness is kind of a combined human consciousness?
Yeah, that word is wrong. I shouldn't really use that. We call it collective consciousness because it acts like that. It's really just all the human beliefs, collective beliefs. There is only one consciousness, but when we're tuned into human consciousness, we're hearing the human beliefs, and when we're tuned into God consciousness, we're hearing the God beliefs. I used to call those two radio stations KFUC and KGOD, but I
transcended it.
No, I didn't transcend it. I really upset some little old ladies in Europe somewhere. And so I cleaned it up, so I now call it WMND and KGOD. The point is that our radio station essentially has two stations on it, KGOD and collective consciousness. And my metaphor is that when we come in with it set to the human consciousness, to the human beliefs, the radio, our receiver. And through spiritual work, we learn how to turn our receiver over to KGOD, to God consciousness. And the unfortunate thing is that every time we let go of it, it snaps back to the human experience. But that's the dilemma, is that there is God consciousness, and when we're tuned into God consciousness, that is our consciousness, and those beliefs are the beliefs that are being expressed in our life, and when we're through inactivity or inertia...
Yeah.
I'm sorry? When we're in human consciousness, then we're by default tuned into the human beliefs, and we're getting those beliefs constantly reinforced, and those beliefs become our experience. And if you want to know what human beliefs, what human collective consciousness looks like, what human beliefs look like, look at the world. You're looking at it. I mean, this is your experience right here. You're looking at it, and if you want to know what human consciousness is, if you want to know what it is, look at it and look what it's like in different countries and in different areas. Look at all the beliefs in good and evil, and all the beliefs in all the powers other than God and all that stuff. And if we're in the default mode, snapped over to collective consciousness, that's the stuff that's coming into our consciousness, and that's the stuff that we're by default believing, and that's the stuff that's causing our experience. And our scripts are all part of collective consciousness. This is what humanity believes. You notice we've been around the room, or halfway around the room now, and we've heard, 15 or 20 people and 5 or 6 scripts, you know, I mean, how many people have "I'll never get it right"? Okay? I mean, what we're doing is we're getting these beliefs that humanity believes, that Madison Avenue really knows well and continually shores up for us, constantly reinforced these beliefs. So, yes, please.
I realize this might sound like a stupid question, but my brain likes to take things you say and take them. If at the same moment, all 7 billion tunes to God and got out of the way,
It would be done.
is that what what does that mean to be done?
If nobody believed something, then it couldn't be rebroadcast, and it would be gone. That belief would be gone. So if all of human consciousness at the same collective consciousness, if every human being believed in God at the same moment, there would be nobody broadcasting human beliefs, and it would be done. But that ain't going to happen, because it's really sort of hard to tune the 7 billion together. Yes? You had a question, I thought.
Yeah, human beliefs, are they all lies?
Yes, absolutely.
So essentially,
Because they all believe in powers other than God, which there are none, and they're all based in taking care of myself, the old DNA stuff, you know, survival of the fittest, I mean, species survival. I mean, that's what that looks like. They're all devoted to taking care of myself, and secondarily, my family, and third, my community, and fourth, my country, and, you know, at the expense of yours, we'll drop a bomb on you to protect our boys who we're sending out to war, or ladies now too. Yeah, it's all lies, because it's all beliefs in powers other than God, and believes in the need to take care of ourselves. And that's what script is all about. Script is all about taking care of myself. Yeah.
and the resistance behaviors are also lies because it's devoted to
Of
taking
course.
care of the script.
Of
So
course.
It's all like
Of course, yes.
lie. Okay.
Yep, there's no truth in any of it. But it's believed, and so it's our experience. So in the human, I mean, it's really easy to get absolute and say there's only one power, but it's clearly not true. In human experience, there are all these powers. That's what we're believing, and that's what we're receiving, and that's what we're rebroadcasting. But what I want you to get is that it's this subliminal, this hypnotic power of the 7 billion that is coming into our mind that we have not known about, and therefore we have not taken charge of, that is causing our experience. And this week's work is on accepting 100% responsibility, and I'll jump ahead. We'll talk a little bit about taking responsibility, but really the only responsibility that we have that would solve the whole thing is the responsibility for what we believe, for what we let come in, for not correcting all these false beliefs, and for whenever one of these lies comes up, whenever there's a temptation to take care of myself or believe in a power other than God, to correct it right then. But of course it requires a great deal of being present and catching. Now we're talking about catching every thought rather than just the emotional ones, but that's eventually the goal. The point is that the 100% responsibility is for what I allow to come into my consciousness. And as I said, the scary part is that there's 7 billion of them radiating at me, but I am in charge of my consciousness. I can correct my own consciousness. It's mine, so to speak. So to speak means not really true, but that's the way we have to talk about it when we're talking. I just love the fact that this is the F workshop, EFF, and that stuff which you can't talk about, stuff that's not describable in words, the correct term for that in the dictionary is ineffable. I just love the fact that this is the F workshop, learning to deal with ineffable things. Huh? That was not intentional, but I like the way it came out. Okay? So let that soak into your head, and maybe go back and listen to that 5 or 10 minutes of stuff a couple of times during the week and let that come in, that there's God consciousness and there's collective consciousness, and we have to choose where we're going to be. And at any given moment, we're one place or the other. It's not, I can't be half one and half the other at the same time. I can be one this minute and the other one the next minute and back and forth, but at any given moment, I can be in either one. And what we want to do is learn how to be in God consciousness whenever we choose to. Yes?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to say this question in a way that makes sense.
Might be ineffable.
My brain. So I'm thinking about what had happened when I believe that I was probably in resistance behavior when I said what you said to me made me feel bad when I reacted that way. And you said, well, you're taking care of yourself. Well, so that's like, it's all about me. Take care of me.
Yeah.
That's how I got my name, by the way.
I'm sorry?
That's how I got my name, by the way.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah. A lot of us have that name, we just don't cop to it.
Well, my parents assigned me that name, yes. So, I've been able to skip that one.
Yeah, most of us just don't cop to it.
Right.
My other name is Ay.
So I'm thinking if I were to have been in God consciousness in that moment, and I would not have said something, because in the perfect world I would have recognized that I would have felt the glitch, I would have not known it was my script, and then I would have had compassion for him because he was doing his thing, and it had nothing to do with me.
Yep.
Okay, so where I go with that is, oh gosh, I'm all alone. Now I'm isolating. I'm in isolation, and I'm not with my loved one because I'm separating myself. I'm with God, but I'm not with my fellow man.
I hear you, and we all confront that. And let's get back to the waves in the ocean. Your partner is part of the one. So in being one with God, you're also one with your partner. Okay?
Okay.
Two people partners can meditate together, and both individually become aware of their oneness with God, and the result of that will be this amazing binding of the partnership. It's like waves side by side on the ocean. They're both ocean.
Yes, I experienced that. We meditate together in the morning.
Sure.
So in that moment, I experienced it, but when one of us is in script, I don't.
Oh, because then you're in humanhood.
Okay.
Then you think you're a wave rather than part of the ocean. Yep. The game is to not be in humanhood. Oh well.